Vietnam or anything involved in all that at the time, but eventually you even got your independence from America, even though you are very strongly connected to America. You got your independence from it and became your own country. In all the different around the world, all the different wars and conflicts that America has been involved in, there's only been one war that we did not win, and that's when we were in Vietnam. We did not win that war. And actually, when I enlisted in the Navy, when I signed up, I graduated in June of '75, and of course I enlisted in June of '75. The same year same month I graduated. But the Vietnam War ended like 2.5 months before I enlisted. So when I was in the service, there were no wars going on. We weren't involved in any wars anywhere in the world when I enlisted in the Navy. So, like I said, the Vietnam War ended like 2.5 months before I enlisted. So, I wasn't in during any wartime. We were at peace with everybody when I enlisted in the Navy. So, huh? Oh no, I've never been in Vietnam. No, no, the Vietnam War ended 2.5 months before I enlisted in the Navy. So it was over when I enlisted. So no, I was never in. When I was in the Navy, we weren't. America was not involved in any war around the world anywhere when I enlisted. So I was in the Navy during peacetime. So, but now we're involved in stuff everywhere. I mean, there's like the over there, Iran and stuff. America just bombed a whole bunch of coastal things in Iran because I guess Iran, attacked some more ships. So America just bombed Iran again. They've been trying to broker a peace and everything where everything would work out, and Iran bombed some ships. So America bombed Iran again. So it, I mean, we're going to wind up in a third world war. The last one we were in is when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, and that got us into World War II. And then when America dropped those big nuclear bombs on Japan back in the mid 40s, um, on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, that's where the two big, nuclear bombs were exploded. It killed millions of people over there in Japan, and just wiped those cities out completely. And when that happened, then Japan, they signed the agreement to end the war and stuff after they got bombed and had millions of their fellow people killed. But they started it. They bombed Pearl Harbor, there in Hawaii. So Japan's the one that started it. We just ended it. So it's Japan's fault. They started the whole thing. So, but America ended it, and when Japan signed the peace agreement, to end the war, then that's when the World War II ended then. And but the way things are going right now, you know, all the wars and everything that America is involved in around the world, everywhere, we're going to wind up in a third world war, and it's going to happen pretty soon. The way Trump's doing, and he thinks he's making America so much better. He's going to get us in World War III, plain and simple. And if we're in World War III, it's nobody's fault but Trump. Nobody, because what's happening in other countries is not in America. So why do we have to be involved in all this other stuff? It's on the other side of the world. It's not affecting America. But he feels he's got to bomb people and kill them and destroy everything. Yep, a little bit. I mean, the sidewalks are just, I can see the sprinkles on the sidewalks and stuff. It's nice and dark outside right now, but you see, I'm here at my computer, but I can turn and I can look straight out the window. So that's nice. That's what's nice about this computer chair. It'll swivel all the way around. And see, this is setting up, this is setting back. So that's as far back as it'll go. See, and I have a lever down here where I can, like it's up right now, I can push this lever in, and then my chair won't go back. I can pull the lever out, and then it'll go back. So, yep, and this chair I got for free. Someone, I got this up in Michigan. I brought it with me when I moved down here, and somebody just had it sitting out by the road, with a sign on it that said free. So I picked it up and took it home, and I've had it ever since. So the only thing I've ever had to do is on the leg, there's swivel, rollers. There's four of them, and I had to replace one of the rollers on it. But that's the only thing I've ever had to do to it. So, but a lot of times I can sit up and and I can lean back, and my feet's not even touching the ground as I'm leaning back and stuff. So right now my feet is not touching the ground. I'm kicking back and forth, with, leaning back as far as it would go, but I'm not touching the floor right now. I'm just moving my feet back and forth, back and forth. Then of course when I set up, then my feet, then I'm using my feet to turn. See, you can see on the camera, you know, uh, see, here's my feet, and I'm sitting all the way back. And I sit up, I use my feet, turn. See, so and I can move it out away from my table, a little bit farther, and I can just spin around and spin and spin and spin. See, I move it back a little bit, and then I can just take and spin around, spin around, spin around, spin around, spin around. Okay, I gotta stop. I'm gonna get dizzy. I spun around twice. If I go too many times, I go, like I'd been drinking or something. I'd be dizzy as heck. But yeah, it'll spin all the way around. So, yep. And actually, just that, going around twice, my head started spinning just from spinning 2 times. That's why I had to stop because if I would have kept going, I would have been. I remember when I was young, and in school and stuff, we had these merry-go-rounds at school, out in the yard, playground and stuff. We had these merry-go-round things where it wasn't like horses or anything, but you could get on it and just spin around and around and around. We had these jungle gyms where they were like in the shape of a big old dome that was open, and you could just crawl around on them and stuff. And like when I was in school, you know, safety concerns weren't as important as it is nowadays. There's so much safety concerns for everybody and everything that you know back when I was growing up and stuff, I've seen it on like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram or whatever. People talk about I seen one time somebody was saying something about um, somebody said something about drinking water from a garden hose. Like you turn the water on, you hold the hose up, and drink water out of it and stuff. And somebody was watching the video and made a comment and says, "Didn't you have a faucet in your house where you could drink water out of the kitchen sink?" And then the person that was making the video, they were just laughing and stuff and said, "Here, let me educate you on some stuff. When I was growing up, when I was young and I was growing up, you know, we weren't, as kids, we weren't allowed in the house. We had to stay outside and amuse ourselves and whatever. So, we would play outside and drink water out of a garden hose and we just had to amuse ourselves. We had to find whatever we could find because back, like when I was growing up, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have um, computers, and we didn't have, um, TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat or, we didn't have any of that kind of stuff when I was growing up, back in the 60s and 70s and stuff. We didn't have none of that stuff. So, I grew up without it. So, if I would if I was to quit social media, get rid of my phone, I really wouldn't miss it. It's just nowadays everybody has everything, whether it's social media or whether it's phone. It's like almost everybody's in school have cell phones, and you know, you know, junior high school and high school and college and even back in the day, I go hang on, I go get my charger and plug it in here. My phone just came on, so I'm down to 20%. So hang on. Plug it in right here. Plug it into the phone. Okay, it's charging. Okay, that's a nice thing. When I'm sitting here, I got an outlet where I can plug it in right here below my window and stuff. So oh, let me see here now. What else do I got to do? Oh, I know what I was gonna do. I was gonna go into on my computer. I was gonna go into to the TikTok shop, and I can go into here. Come on, load. Come on. This computer is slow. Oh, there we go. Shop. Okay. And what I can do is I can go into the shop on here and look what under my orders, and I'll know which one I'm supposed to be getting delivered tomorrow. So let's see, orders. Here we are, and just gotta wait for it to load now. Now it says place your first order. Well, how can I place my first order when I'm looking for something that has been? There's something else I'm gonna order for you, and do you want orange or black in color? Black, okay. Well, then what I will show you is what I'm planning on ordering. I will click on it, make it nice and bigger and stuff, so you can. Then I'll show you what I'm planning on ordering. Um, in black. Okay. Now let me turn my camera around here. Oops. I mean, this is what I'm going to order. I mean, not this one, but this is a general idea of what I'm going to order for you and stuff. I mean, I'm still looking at just showing you what I'm planning on ordering, but put that up there so it doesn't fall. Can you see that? Okay. And what this is it's the same as what I get. This part right here, it has these two legs that fold out so you can help hold it up. But this is all connected. Um, you don't have to plug your cord into the end of it. This is a built-in cord. So all you have to do is this plugs into um, you know, what you plug into the wall and stuff. So I mean, that's a general idea of what I'm going to order. Not this specific one, but that's what I'm planning on ordering and stuff. And you know, I, I'm just looking right now and stuff, but I haven't decided. Because they have different variety, different types and and everything. And it's the same thing as what this little orange thing is that I have on the bottom of my phone right now, where the charging cord plugs into the side of it. That's what that is. But let me disconnect this from the phone. Come on now, quit falling over. It's like on this, instead of plugging your charging cord into the side, and then then this plugs into the bottom of your phone, and then it's got like two legs on it where you can set it, and it helps. It'll help. It's like these two arms, you can fold them out, and then your phone will be like a stand, and you don't have to prop it up against something, and that way it's charging from the side rather than from the bottom. Yeah, that's what I'm planning on bringing with me. I've got two of these, and I'll be bringing them with me to give to you. And like I said, these two little legs on the bottom, they fold out like that, And then when this is plugged into the bottom of your phone, these two legs support your phone so you don't have to lean it up against something. These legs will hold it upright and stuff. And even if the phone's charged, then you don't have to have that plugged in, but this will still be plugged into your phone, and the legs will help hold it, set it, hold it straight, upright. See, this is what this is what plugs into the bottom of your phone. This plugs into here. Instead of this being plugged straight into the bottom of your phone, it plugs into the side here, and then this plugs into your phone. So it charges your phone, you know, but you won't have to have this, down here. So when you're trying to, you know, that way, like when you're talking to me, you won't have to have your phone propped up against something. These two legs will hold it from falling over and stuff. And then you can also plug this in and and plug this into the bottom of your phone. Just let me close these things up, and then this will plug into the bottom of your phone. This plugs into the side, and then when you have these legs extended, you know, you can be charging your phone while it's being, while it's, standing there. Why that way you don't have to rest your phone against something to prop it up. So you can charge it, and because normally, right now, you don't have your phone you don't have your phone plugged in to charge it right now because, normally right now you have to plug this into the bottom of your phone. But with this thing, you won't be charging it from the bottom. You'll be charging it from the side. You plug that into there. You plug this into your phone, and it charges your phone. Yeah, it's Type C. Yeah, it's what? It's Type C. Yeah, this chart plugs right into the center of your phone on the bottom, which is where this normally charges. When you plug it in from the bottom, but when you plug this into the bottom of your phone, you plug this into the side to charge it. That way your phone, your charging cable will not be at the bottom of your phone. It'll be to the side of this unit. So then you just plug it into the bottom of your phone, pop it in place, and and then those two legs you can, open them up, and you can set it there on your table or whatever, and you can have your phone plugged in charging at the same time that you're talking. So I got two of those. Now right now I got both. I got one in this phone and I got one in my other phone. So that way, because like when I'd be sitting there charging something on my phone, well, when I'd be charging my phone, I'd be holding it in my hand, and that cable that was plugged into the bottom of the phone is resting here on my, belly area, and after a while, it would damage the wire and stuff, and then the charger would not work. Then I'd have to go buy a new one. But with this being charged from the side, you won't have that problem. So you'll see it all when I get there next month. You'll be seeing everything that I'll be bringing with me next month. So and I can explain everything to you, and you'll see it, in person, how everything works. It's hard to try and explain everything, you know, like this on a video call. I need to get up. I need to turn my fan around because I'm sitting here burning up. I got to turn my fan around so it's blowing on me. Okay. Oh, that feels better. I'm just sitting here burning up. But now with that fan blowing on me, that's nice and. Oh, you're going to sleep. Okay, good night. Bye. So long. See ya. Farewell. Have a great night. Huh? Continue? I'm done. I'm history. I'm bye. I'm gone. Bye bye. So long. I'm leaving. So, you want to go to sleep now? Okay. Okay. Good night, sweetheart. Sweet dreams and sleep well. And I get up at 6 in the morning, and I'll be leaving at 6:35 to go pick Melanie up for work. So I start at 7 tomorrow, and I'm scheduled 7 to 2, which is 7 hours. So that's what I'm scheduled tomorrow. So I won't be off of work until 2, and then I won't, then, I mean, I might get off of work early because I had to work an extra hour and a half yesterday. So I might be able to get out of work early tomorrow rather than have to be there until 2. I don't know. We'll see. So I will, hon. I will be safe. Like I said, I got to go to my doctor's appointment at 11:30, and then I'm going to get plasma after that. So by the time I get home, it's going to be somewhere between 3 and 4 in the morning your time. So you might be asleep, you might be awake. I don't know. Who knows? With you, you never know. You might be up eating. You might be. Yep. Okay, hon. I'll let you go to sleep. So night night. I love you. Mm. Okay. Mm. I kissed you twice. I kissed you in here and I kissed you over there. See? Mm. Uh, I just kissed you twice. Yeah. Mm. Okay, sweetheart. I'll let you go to sleep. So, okay. One, two, I'm thinking. Oh, yeah, three. I had to think of what it was. Okay, hon. Night night, my love. Mm. I love you. And just to think, in a month, I will be kissing those lips. Mm-hmm. That will be so awesome. And to hold you so close. Mm. Okay. Night night, sweetheart. Mm. I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay. Sleep well, hon. So, night night and bye bye for now. Okay. Night night, my love. Forever and ever and always. Mm. I love you. Okay. Bye bye, love. I love you forever and always. We gotta go, hon. We gotta go. You gotta show sleep. So, bye bye, hon. I'm hanging up now. Mm. Okay, here goes. Okay. huge stuff here.